Hello, welcome channel. Today we will learn about the shocking twist where EJ, in a move of utter foolishness, hires ISA spies to infiltrate his own secret lab. Could this be the downfall that exposes his entire criminal empire? The high-stakes gamble, Mark's bold pursuit of EJ and freedom. In the riveting world of Days of Our Lives, one of the biggest ongoing bets among fans revolves around whether Mark Green will successfully track down EJ DiMera to secure his long-awaited freedom. Mark, the once troubled doctor who's clawed his way back from a pardon and a tainted past, now stands at a crossroads that could redefine his entire future in Salem. Picture this: Mark, driven by a mix of desperation and determination, sets his sights on EJ, the cunning DiMera heir whose shadowy dealings have long plagued the town. The stakes couldn't be higher. Freedom isn't just a legal technicality for Mark, it's a chance to reclaim his medical license, rebuild his shattered reputation, and step out from under the cloud of his association with dangerous figures like Clyde Weston. Fans are buzzing with speculation. Will Mark's infiltration pay off, or will EJ's paranoia lead to a brutal betrayal that leaves Mark trapped in the DiMera web forever? This plotline draws on classic DOOL themes of redemption and risky alliances, echoing past sagas where characters like Stefano DiMera manipulated underlings to their doom. As the episodes unfold, every glance Mark steals toward EJ's operations builds tension, hinting at a confrontation that could unravel layers of deceit built over decades of the show's history. Anniversary spectacle: Horton Free Clinic's grand reopening. Excitement is building in Salem as the Horton Free Clinic prepares for a monumental reopening this November, timed perfectly to honor the 60th anniversary of Days of Our Lives, a milestone that promises to bring waves of nostalgia and star power to the screen. The clinic, a cornerstone of the show's legacy symbolizing the Horton family's unwavering commitment to community and compassion, will serve as the backdrop for a star-studded event featuring guest appearances from beloved alumni like past portrayers of Tom and Alice Horton, alongside current favorites such as Marlena Evans and John Black. Imagine the heartfelt speeches, emotional reunions, and subtle plot teases woven into the festivities, all while highlighting the clinic's role in ongoing storylines about healing and hidden agendas. This anniversary nod isn't just celebratory, it's a narrative pivot that could tie into larger arcs, perhaps revealing how the clinic's expansion funds darker undercurrents in the town's medical landscape. With elaborate decorations evoking the show's 1960s roots and interactive elements for characters to reflect on their journeys, the event underscores DOOL's enduring appeal, blending soap opera drama with real-world tributes to its pioneering spirit. Shadows in the underground: Kat and Rafe's relentless pursuit. While the anniversary buzz dominates headlines, the real intrigue simmers beneath the surface as Kat Donovan and Rafe Hernandez intensify their efforts to uncover what EJ DiMera is desperately hiding in the depths of his operations. These two investigators, fueled by intuition and alliance with ISA Chief Shane Donovan, have pieced together enough clues to know that Gwen Rizika's recent visits to the construction site are no coincidence. She's poking around areas that scream secrecy, from reinforced walls to suspicious equipment deliveries. Kat and Rafe, ever cautious, maintain a vigilant watch on Gwen without alerting her, employing subtle surveillance tactics like anonymous tips and discreet tailing to avoid tipping off EJ's network. Their partnership, marked by sharp banter and mutual respect honed from past cases, adds layers of personal tension. Kat's protective instincts clash with Rafe's by-the-book approach, creating dynamic scenes where every whispered strategy session heightens the suspense. Yet, the duo faces mounting frustration. Gwen's evasiveness and EJ's ironclad alibis keep solid evidence just out of reach, forcing them to improvise in ways that test their loyalty to the ISA. This cat-and-mouse game not only spotlights the theme of trust in Salem's fractured alliances but also foreshadows potential betrayals that could ripple through the DiMera family tree. Mark's unexpected entry, infiltrating the secret lab. Mark Green's story takes a thrilling turn as he gains acceptance into EJ's highly secretive new lab, positioning him as a wild card in this escalating drama that could either propel his redemption or seal his fate. Unlike the cautious surveillance of Kat and Rafe, Mark's involvement feels immediate and precarious. He's not just observing from afar but stepping directly into the lion's den. Speculation runs wild. Will EJ, the master manipulator, start Mark as a lowly trainee, doling out menial research tasks to gauge his loyalty before revealing the lab's sinister underbelly, or will he thrust him into the heart of the operation from day one, banking on Mark's desperation to keep him compliant? Adding fuel to the fire, if Kat leverages her ISA connections to convince Shane to dangle an irresistible deal, perhaps full immunity or accelerated licensing in exchange for intel, Mark might embrace the spy role wholeheartedly. This scenario transforms Mark from a peripheral figure into a pivotal asset, allowing the ISA to potentially dismantle EJ's empire from within. Drawing parallels to iconic DOOL infiltrations like those involving the ISA's own history with DMERA schemes, Mark's arc explores the moral gray areas of survival, where ambition collides with ethics in a high-pressure environment of confidential experiments and whispered threats. Lingering shadows, Mark's medical dreams on hold. Despite his recent pardon granting him freedom from incarceration, Mark Green remains shackled by professional barriers, unable to resume practicing medicine until he navigates the bureaucratic maze to reinstate his license, a process fraught with scrutiny given his past entanglements. This limbo forces Mark to confront his vulnerabilities, pushing him toward unconventional paths for stability, much like other Salem residents who've turned to shadowy opportunities in times of crisis. Kat, ever the supportive sibling, urged Mark to approach EJ directly about a hospital position, envisioning a legitimate role that could bridge his gap back to legitimacy. Little did she anticipate the clandestine lab offer that now dangles like forbidden fruit. The irony is palpable. Mark's medical passion, once derailed by Clyde's influence, now intersects with EJ's opaque agenda, creating a narrative tension that examines themes of temptation and unintended consequences. As Mark weighs his options, flashbacks to his training days and ethical dilemmas underscore the personal stakes, reminding viewers of DOOL's knack for weaving individual struggles into broader conspiracies. A Pact with Darkness, EJ's calculated recruitment of Mark. Titled, A Deal with the Devil? EJ DMERA's secret lab hires a new recruit on Days of Our Lives. This pivotal encounter unfolds with Mark boldly walking into EJ's domain, only to face initial resistance that tests the waters of their fragile rapport. EJ, ever the strategist with a deep-seated grudge against Clyde for past threats to his brother Chad, balks at the idea of onboarding someone tied to that criminal legacy. Why risk vulnerability by hiring a man who once pursued Chad under duress? Yet, EJ's demeanor shifts when Mark passionately articulates his fervor for laboratory work and cutting-edge research, igniting a spark that aligns perfectly with EJ's veiled ambitions. This persuasion isn't accidental. It's a calculated play in EJ's grand scheme, where he dangles the position with strings attached, unquestioning obedience to directives and a binding non-disclosure agreement that seals lips against prying eyes. Mark's hesitation, born from wariness of EJ's reputation, dissolves under assurances of privately funded research that promises innovation without the taint of public oversight. In signing on, the pardoned doctor unwittingly steps into a vortex of ethical quandaries, evoking DOOL's tradition of Faustian bargains that propel characters toward redemption or ruin. Detailed scenes capture EJ's smug satisfaction, contrasting Mark's optimistic resolve, while hinting at lab specifics like advanced biotech tools and restricted access zones that fuel fan theories about bioweapon development or memory-altering serums. Sibling revelations, Kat's shock at Mark's new role. The anticipation builds unbearably as Mark prepares to confide in his sister Kat about his surprising hire at the new lab, a revelation that could strain their bond or fortify their alliance against EJ's machinations. Kat's reaction promises fireworks. She's no stranger to EJ's deceptions, having personally ventured into the secure room behind the fancy keypad lock, snapping incriminating photos that reveal it's far more than the innocuous medicine cabinet EJ claims. Those images, shared covertly with the ISA, depict sterile chambers lined with enigmatic equipment and coded files, painting a picture of clandestine activities that scream illegality. For Kat, Mark's involvement isn't just risky. It's a golden opportunity laced with peril, as she grapples with protecting her brother while exploiting his position. This sibling dynamic adds emotional depth, mirroring past DOOL family conflicts where loyalty clashes with duty, and sets the stage for tense confrontations where Kat might coach Mark on subtle reconnaissance without blowing his cover. ISA's intensifying probe, Mark as the potential key. Deepening the intrigue, Days of Our Lives, ISA investigation heats up. Is Mark Green an insider? Spotlights how Mark remains blissfully unaware that his sister Kat operates as an embedded ISA agent, with her mission laser-focused on dismantling EJ's operations at Shane's directive. For loyal viewers tuned into recent episodes, the context is clear. Kat and Rafe's probe targets the murky financing behind EJ's acquisition of the struggling medical facility, questioning not just the who but the why. Whispers of black market dealings and experimental funding suggest ties to international syndicates beyond Salem's borders. EJ's hospital buyout, framed as philanthropy, masks a hub for illicit research, from genetic manipulations to surveillance tech that could control key figures in town. Kat's dual role as sister and spy creates riveting internal conflict. She'll undoubtedly celebrate Mark's employment as a step toward normalcy, yet view his lab access as a strategic boon. With Rafe providing fieldwork support and Shane orchestrating from afar, the trio suspects the clinic as the nexus of EJ's darkness. Human experimentation? Smuggled artifacts? No concrete proof exists, but Mark could change that, funneling details on funding sources, key personnel like Gwen's shadowy contacts, and procedural anomalies that expose the rot. This insider angle promises pulse-pounding developments, analyzing how Mark's reports might corroborate Kat's photos and lead to raids, while exploring the psychological toll of espionage on family ties in DOOL's intricate web. Climactic betrayal, Mark's role in unraveling the plot. Ultimately, visions of triumph emerge as Mark Green emerges as the hero poised to shatter E.J. DiMera and Gwen Rizika's nefarious plot, leveraging his newfound access to deliver justice in a spectacle of exposure and arrests. EJ's hubris shines through in his lax vetting. Hiring potential threats like Mark without deeper scrutiny reeks of overconfidence, a flaw that DOOL writers amplify to underscore his vulnerabilities amid the DiMera legacy of arrogance. Gwen's complicity, from site inspections to coordinating supplies, ties her fate to EJ's, but Mark's intel could map their entire network, revealing accomplices and escape routes. In a detailed breakdown, imagine Mark documenting late-night sessions where EJ discusses breakthroughs with veiled threats, or uncovering financial trails leading to offshore accounts, elements that not only indict the duo but ripple outward, affecting allies like Chad and the broader Horton circle. This arc culminates in a high-drama sting operation, where ISA forces converge, handcuffs clicking as EJ's empire crumbles. Mark's heroism redeems his past, granting not just freedom but purpose. Yet, EJ's lesson is clear. In Salem, stupidity like blind recruitment invites downfall. Next time, perhaps tighter controls or double agents of his own. Fans eagerly await these twists, as they encapsulate DOOL's essence of intricate plotting and moral reckonings that keep viewers hooked episode after episode.